Connor, the bye week, how do you approach it, and what's the benefit of going into it at this point in the season?
I think the bye week is really timely this year. Just anywhere in that middle section of the season is nice, just because now that we're 5 games in, just normal bumps and bruises, that type of thing. You get a chance to heal from some of those, and maybe some more serious injuries for other guys, a chance to get people back with a week off. So, for me personally, it's a nice week to kind of get my body right again and to get a jump start on TCU.
There's been a lot of talk about the O-line and getting that run game going. Did a little bit better against Cincy. What's your analysis there, and how do you think the direction of group's going?
Well, I think we definitely took a step forward in the Cincinnati game, because that was the best D-line specifically, and probably the best front seven we'd played so far. And I thought early in the game especially we were doing a really good job, opening lanes and getting LJ the space he needed. Didn't finish the game as good as we probably should have, but outside of the bad snap and then a few TFLs, and we were kind of just trying to milk the clock out as best we could. We had a pretty good yards per carry when you take out those plays. So need to finish better, obviously, but a lot to build on and improvement for sure.
Go ahead, Sean Walker.
Connor, I want to ask you a really big picture question here. But before that, since you're talking about the bye week a little bit, you've been around for a couple of years. Is it a little bit weird to have a bye week after only 5 weeks of the season? Like, wait, it's not November yet and we're on a bye? Like, what is this?
Yeah, it is. It's a little different for sure. I think we played, it was 10 straight games last year before a bye, which is challenging to do. It's challenging to do that and keep everybody healthy. So, I think with the conference scheduling, and getting everyone trying to get buys somewhere in that middle section of the season has definitely been nice.
And then I did want to kind of zoom a little bit big picture-wise, because every week is obviously a big opportunity for growth for you guys, for the team, for you personally, for everything. Where do you think kind of your biggest area of growth has been in the first 6 weeks of the season, I guess, really?
That's a good question. I think for me personally, a big focus, now with a few seasons under my belt, has definitely been, the mental side of the game. That was a focus of my off season. But I think the biggest growth has probably been just settling into my techniques and things at a new position. Because, I found out I was playing right guard full time, about a week and a half before our first game. So kind of just settling into that, getting back into the groove of playing guard, and I think I've been able to build on that every week, and so I think that's been kind of the biggest area for me personally.
Go ahead, Jay Drew.
Hey, Connor, through 5 games, through 1 month of the season, I just wondered, in your mind, who are some of your teammates that stick out as kind of been good, pleasant surprises, that maybe guys you didn't really think you would count on but have come to count on this season so far?
Well, I think the obvious one is LJ. Obviously, LJ's playing really well right now, and he's running hard, and he's been a pleasant surprise for sure. I think everybody else, I'm not exactly surprised that they're playing well. I've got to see it through spring ball, and then for the guys that just joined this summer, I got to see it through all of summer and all of training camp, so there weren't really any big surprises there. But LJ, just being a freshman, we didn't know much about him, and with Aiden and stuff, we didn't see him as much during training camp, and then, he's done a great job for us.
Then another question. They just announced the TCU game's going to be at 1:30 in the afternoon on the road. As a play, or do you like that better, like the same as at Kansas, or would you rather play at night? Just kind of how do you like to do that?
Road games, I don't care too much. Yeah, the time doesn't really matter to me, especially on the road. But home games are definitely fun to be under the lights. There's a different feel to that, and it's really enjoyable. But obviously Les in the daytime too is a lot of fun. So, on the road, no, not really. So I think just whenever they want us to go take the field and play, that's what we're gonna do.
Hey, Connor, we'll have a couple more questions from Jared Lloyd and then Mitch Harper.
Connor, I don't know how much chance you had to see your boys play in the NFL over the weekend, but some pretty nice performances. What's that like to see some of those guys you've played with go on to the next level and be successful and have those types of performances?
It's awesome. I mean, because outside of football players, those guys are just my friends. And so, to see them be successful is a special thing. Zach played really well, obviously. Puka played really well. Blake got his first start. And it's kind of funny, Blake had been my roommate for the last 2.5 years, and now all of a sudden you turn around and he's blocking Aaron Donald. Like it's kind of surreal. I can't wait to talk to him on the phone this week about it and see what that experience was like. But it's so much fun to watch those guys be successful. Puka's been doing it. I mean, we all knew what Puka was going to be like, but the rest of the world didn't. And and for Zach, all the BS he's had to go through from the media, unfortunately. So you all suck. But I'm just teasing. But for him to come out and play well with all the ridicule that he's gotten, was really awesome. So it's a lot of fun to see those guys be successful. It makes you happy.
Connor, what does it say about this BYU team? You guys have won in kind of unconventional ways. Last Friday you guys lost the total yards by 200 yards. In that Arca game, the box score would have set a different outcome. What does it say, just the characteristics of this team, to find unorthodox ways to come away with victories?
I think we've been timely in when we've played really well during the games. I think when we've needed it most, we were there to kind of pull through, with the exception really of Kansas. Other than that game, when we've really needed it in those crunch time moments, we've been able to come through, whether it was offense, defense, or special teams. There were big plays in all 3 phases and really all 5 games this year. And so obviously we need to work on being a little more consistent and playing a little more complete game, but it's hard to win in college football. In our first year in the Big 12, starting the season 4-1, I think that's something that we can be proud of, even though there's a whole list of things we know we need to get better at.
How beneficial do you think having this bye early October compared to late November, do you think can have on the back half of the rest of the season, you think?
I think it's going to be great. Mainly just in the physical aspect of, getting ready to go and play the next portion of our conference schedule. Guys getting healthy, whether you have little injuries, big or small, to be able to fix those and have a week to recover. And, the opportunity to kind of do some self-scout and, try to find the best ways to improve, all that stuff, I think is really beneficial. And where, in the past, it's been, a lot of guys getting banged up when you're in your 8th, 9th, 10th straight game. This gives us an opportunity to kind of jumpstart that recovery process a little bit.
Okay, Connor, looks like that's all the questions for today. Thank you so much for your time.
Sweet. You guys were easy today.